My name is Diane Cooper, and we're here today from Caregivers Outreach Ministry Empowerment. We're here today to tell you about a program that we're going to be launching in September, and the program is called Caregivers Youth Initiative. There are studies that show that there's 22% of high school dropouts that actually leave school to care for a loved one. And we also have an organization in Florida that has the only caregivers program for youth in the United States. And the program is run by Connie Siskoski. And what she says is that the youth caregivers are a hidden population. And the reason why she says it's a hidden population is because she says that youth caregivers suffers from a lack of support from schools in their community. So we are here today just having a conversation about youth caring. It came about more so because we did our research. We went around to about 20 different schools and we spoke with counselors and teachers and principals, and they were just amazed of the children in their schools that were actually assisting parents of loved ones with issues that they had. So we're going to introduce ourselves today. Again, I'm Diane Cooper, and we'll start from Keona.
I'm Keona Vincent.
I'm Faith Scarrett. I'm Nishai Bedford.
And I'm Deidre Summer Scarrett.
And we're each just going to tell you who we're assisting as caregivers. Me, myself, I'm a caregiver for my husband.
I'm a caregiver for my mother.
I'm a caregiver to my brother. I'm a caregiver to my grandparents.
And I'm the caregiver to my brother.
And we're also going to tell you our ages, and I don't mind saying that I'm 59.
I'm 32.
I'm 14.
I'm 14 as well. And I'm 20.
So as you all can see, that caring really has no age. I think a lot of times when we hear the term family caregiver, we think of a home health aide, a home attendant, maybe a nurse or something like that, a nurse aide. But no one ever thought about giving us, you know, a title, you know. And I think the problem that we do have with all caregivers is that basically we don't take ownership of the title. For instance, you're caring for your mom, you're caring for your brother, you say, that's my brother, I'm his sister. I say, that's my husband. So why you want to give me a title saying family caregiver, that I'm a family caregiver? This is a part of our responsibility, this is a part of us just being a family. So it's hard to take on that title as family caregiver. And I think that's the problem that we have, that once we take on the title, then people will realize what we're doing and it'll bring some notations or some recognition to what we're doing when we take on the title of a family caregiver. And basically, who you all caring for?
Well, I'm caring for my 24-year-old autistic brother. His name is Jesse. And for as long as I could probably take care of myself, I've been taking care of Jesse along with my parents and my sister.
I've been taking care of my grandparents lately. You know, growing up, my grandparents were always like my best friend. I still had my parents, but, you know, being so close to my grandparents, I noticed that, you know, as they got older and I got older, times got a little tougher. And, you know, as you get older, you know, you have a little more health problems. And my grandmother recently just had hip replacement surgery, and I noticed while she's away, I have to, you know, cook for, you know, my grandparent and, you know, my grandfather, and make sure that he's, you know, okay, and also worry about, you know, going to work and you know, worrying about, you know, what's next for school. And, you know, it gets a little difficult, but, you know, it's something that I wouldn't regret. I love my grandparents and I'll do anything for them, so I wouldn't take that title as a family caregiver. It's just, that's my family, so I'm going to make sure that they're okay.
I also take care of my autistic brother, Jesse, and when my sister went to college, I started to take that role more. And you are born into this, and you take care of them because they're family members. It's not something that's forced onto you. It's something that comes out of love.
When I started, I was 9 years old, and my father was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And I was there along with my mom to help take care of him. As the young ladies mentioned before, it's not something that, you know, you think is going to happen at a young age. I was a kid. And I was in elementary school when it all began. And he passed away in '94. And we move ahead to 2000, my senior year of high school. That's when my mom got sick with colon cancer. And now she was just diagnosed with breast cancer.
How do you balance that when it comes to going to school, caring, doing your house chores, you know, socialization, going out with your friends? Like, how do you balance that, or do you balance that, or is it balanced for you?
My mom, she would take care of Jesse, you know, getting ready in the morning. She would like take care of Jesse, and like Faith and I would get ready for school. But it's like when it comes to socialization, you know, like my friends understand that I have an autistic brother. You know, Jesse, he has like his conditions, and I would have to like, if I have to stay home and take care of him, I would stay home and take care of him. There's no problem. Cancel plans, you know. Like I'd rather my brother's safety, you know, anything can happen in 1 second, rather than, you know, go out for a day and then I don't have my brother for a lifetime. So I'd rather put that on.
They always made sure that, you know, even though I'm helping them, they never really asked me to do it. So even when I was doing it, they always made sure that I was still a kid and had fun and was able to hang out with my friends whenever I wanted to. But even then, I would still make sure that they were good before I left the house. Or when I would go to school, I would, you know, make sure that the dogs were, you know, in check, you know, everything was good, so that when they wake up, they don't have to worry about too much. So.
Okay. Tell me, I'm hearing a trend, and I'm going to see if you guys can pick it up. What are the characteristics of a caregiver? Like, there's something in caregivers that's not in anybody else. So tell me what you think the characteristics are of a caregiver. What are some of the qualities? What are some of that you can pick up a person who's a caregiver that you see in all caregivers, or that you see in yourself?
Unconditional love.
Okay.
And I think also you have to have a lot of patience.
Yeah.
It's something that is not in a lot of people who don't deal with people with, to say, a disability or autism, like age or, you know, whatever may be the problem or the condition. I think you need a lot of patience.
And you know what I hear? I hear sacrifice. We always will sacrifice ourselves to benefit another, you know. And I often say that caregivers are a gift from God to this world because of the sacrifice, the love, the commitment that happens, that you don't get a chance to see that too often. Do you know other children, your friends, whatever, that are caring for a loved one? Do you know any other? No?
Really.
Okay, no? Okay. Do you think that there are more children that are doing what you guys are doing but just don't talk about it? If you think they're not talking about it, why?
Because I know that because I don't really talk about it. So I know there has to be others that probably don't talk about it. That's probably why I don't know. Because I don't, you know, when I'm with my friends, I don't just say, oh, well, I have to go home because, you know, I have to make sure that my grandparents are good, you know. I don't talk about it. I mean, it's not that it's embarrassing or you know, something I should be ashamed of, but, you know, it's not really a topic of discussion. It's just a part of your life. It's like an everyday thing, so you don't really...
It feels normal.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it just feels normal.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm wondering, and tell me if you agree or don't agree, that if there's more kids that are doing what, you know, what you guys are doing and nobody's talking about it, how can community, how can the educational system be a support to you guys if they don't know about it?
I mean, I'm sure that there are thousands of kids out there that are doing the same thing that we're doing, but they feel that if they talk about it, that maybe the system is going to get involved.
Right.
Or that it becomes a peer pressure thing. Okay, what are my friends going to think of me if I do this and I don't go with them, if I don't go with the crowd? I know for me personally, elementary school wasn't so bad, but high school was the test. High school was the test for me, my senior year. I'm like, okay, I got a little break in between. I didn't think anything of it. When my mom got sick, I went to my dean, I talked to my principal, my teachers.
Mm-hmm.
They knew. I told everybody what was going on because I had started to miss so much school. And my grades started to drop. So in the meantime, my mom is in the hospital in Brooklyn. I got to travel to the Bronx to get to school. So I have to call them, ask them for work. You know, can you put something aside so that I can keep up with my grades? That also becomes a problem. Sleeping in class, you know, missing tests, important tests, midterms, all of this stuff. And you're trying to balance everything out, and it becomes very hard. It becomes very hard. And it's like, okay, can I ask my friend to pick up some homework for me? Okay, they need to know why. Why am I doing this for you? Why you can't do it yourself? Okay. It's just, it doesn't feel, I don't know exactly how to explain it, but you just don't want to feel like you're bothering anybody. Or you don't want to be a burden on anybody. Because you just, I don't know, it just makes you feel kind of out of place. You know, you can begin to feel alone by yourself.
How can your teacher or counselor or guidance counselor, how can they help a child to express or say that they're a caregiver and maybe they need help or their family need help, or what can someone in the educational system do to help a child?
I think they should be a little more aware and be a little more caring of the students and notice maybe if their grades are dropping, you know, instead of just thinking them as like a school ID number, you know, ask them, pull them, you know, before they go to the next class, you know, you didn't do so well on these, you know, last 3 tests. Is there anything going on that I can help with? Can I tutor you? Or, you know, just make sure that they're good. If they're not coming in with appropriate clothing, if their clothes aren't up to par, you know, ask why. Is there anything that they can do to help? You know, stuff like that. Just be a little more caring and let them know, let the students know that that the teachers and school system are there for them. It won't just immediately take it to the system or take it to the police or something like that. Because that's what I would be scared of.
Okay.
And also you have to build that bond and you have to build that trust. Because at that point in time, trust is real sketchy. It's really sketchy. And hopefully once you build that, they will feel more comfortable to open up and express what's going on.
Basically, the program that we're going to be launching in September, it will consist of, these will be our mentors. These are our mentors. And the reason why we wanted to pick mentors of their age and all, so that youth can have somebody to relate to. Okay, it doesn't mean me talking about them, talking about being a youth caregiver when I'm not your age. So I don't know your feelings, your thoughts, your concerns, your challenges. I know it as an adult caregiver. Keone will be, she's our supervisor because she's been here and she's here now and looking beautiful as she sits here now. So this is how you guys will look at later on in life as a past caregiver, youth caregiver. So what our program hope to do is to increase awareness. But first we have to increase awareness, and in order to get help, it has to be known that you need help. So a challenge that we're going to have to do is basically getting kids to open up, you know, to maybe a trustworthy person, maybe one of us, maybe someone in their school, to open up and say what they're doing, how can we help, and tell us how we can help them. And then after that, we hope to have some kind of communication and connection with all of us here, maybe through, we know that kids these days use a lot of technology, so maybe through Facebook
apps.
Through the apps, or just having a conversation or chatting or talking about what they may be going through. So the program will actually be where we will meet with the students. It'll be going in, talking with them, meeting with the counselors or teachers and things like that. Most of the time it's going to be a lot of communication with the Facebook and different technology and stuff like that. But we will actually meet with them once a month. And before we go out to take them on a little respite, a little just being a kid, you know, having fun, enjoying each other, we would like to have like a 20 to 30 minute little workshop or for them. And basically we'll do that right before we go on our monthly outing or monthly trips. And we hope that as we do that, that we can build a support group among ourselves, among all of the kids that are involved, and among the adults that are involved in the program, that we build a relationship of trust. And we hope that as you all go through the program, that you will be like mentors for someone who will be taking on the role of a youth caregiver. How do you guys think a program like this would benefit youth caregivers?
I think it will benefit youth caregivers by, having them to express, certain things that they probably have bottled up inside. They probably, might not be able to speak with friends who do not have, probably the challenges or, like the experience. So I think that would, be a great way to, open up, basically.
I think it will be a great place for students or kids to turn to when they just want to have fun or let loose for a little bit, and talk to kids that have the same experiences when they go home behind closed doors, and won't be uncomfortable, and it'll just be their time to relax and worry about themselves for a change, and still be able to be a kid and stuff like that.
It'd be a great way for kids to discuss their challenges with other people that might have the same challenges as them, and they'll feel comfortable with it.
I agree with you on that one. And you know what I think too? I think that when you go through this, that it's nice to know that you're not alone. Yeah, it's nice to know that somebody thinks like you, somebody believes like you. And what I notice as a caregiver is that if someone has not gone through an experience, they can't relate to them. Yeah. That you can only relate to somebody who has gone through an experience, because then that person will say, yeah. But to speak to somebody about what you're going through as a caregiver and they can't relate to what you're talking about. So I think that's the hardest thing.
Because you can explain to, just adding on with what you were saying, you can explain to somebody till you're blue in the face, because I've been there, and they're like, what? You still get that clueless look, like, what are you talking about?
They're more like sympathetic, more than empathetic.
Exactly. Exactly.
Anything you would like to say to maybe a caregiver, a youth caregiver out there?
You're not alone.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Yeah, you're not by yourself.
If you come to us, you'll have somebody to talk to, you'll have somebody to have fun with, and have somebody that can relate to you, and you're not alone. It's like the biggest thing. You're not alone. You will have somebody that cares for you just as much as you care for your loved ones, and relate to you, and have fun with, and basically you're not alone. Yeah. That's what I needed.
That's important. That's important. So visit our website at comeoutreach.org, or you can email us at comeoutreach@yahoo.com. We can also be reached at 718-379-3159. Have a great day.